DPI, and all that means is that there's less less quality in the overall pixel density of the application. So exporting all the graphics, I from 240, I scaled them down to 160, and I made sure that everything fit. A lot of problems when you start moving assets from your smartphone to your tablets. You want to make sure that all your assets fit comfortably within the interface. One of the problems we had is a lot of the buttons that we had from TwitHouse when we were on a 7-inch, when we scaled them up for the 10-inch version, the big tablet, we found that everything seemed to be a lot bulkier, a lot we called them fat buttons, and it seemed like you had the hit states were a little bit too big and stuff. So we went in afterwards and we I re-exported a lot of them to just to fit. Matt was able to extend a lot of the tweets. We changed the font size. We were doing things that because we had a higher resolution. The 10-inch tablet runs at a resolution of 1280 by 800. So you have a lot more, content that you can kind of fill in. So when you design games like this, you want to think about, the usability and what environment, these people are going to be playing this in. You'd have to think, they're either on the go or they're on their couch or they're actually sitting, and where you position these buttons, what size these buttons are, and that is all relative to what size of tablet you have. You want to make it a good gaming experience when you're playing the game.
I'll say it's very important to kind of backtracking a bit to the two different sizes of 7 and 10 inches. There's, I think most of the media and the press has gone to the latest 10-inch tablets of this Samsung Galaxy 10.1, it's called, right? Yeah. And the Motorola Zoom, which are both 10 inches. They've gotten a lot of the press and the attention. You do need to realize that there's a lot of 7-inch tablets out there already. Yeah. You do still want to support them because those are going to be the two main ones coming out. It's not all going to be 10 inches. I mean, take a look at the Playbook, for example. Yeah. 7 inches, right? It's a popular size.
It seems to be more mobile, more carry in your back pocket, type thing. This is more, dare I say, more iPad-ish, and they thin a 10-inch version. Maybe a little less mobile, maybe for, we don't carry purses. I don't do carry purses. No. Okay. So, where are you going to put it? You're going to put it in your back sack. You're going to have it, maybe I think it's more of a house.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm notorious for, if you listen to Radio Ender and other shows, I'm notorious for taking the bus, and I'd never consider taking the 10-inch one. It just... number one, I don't care much about looks, but I do look stupid, pulling out this huge tablet.
Hello?
But I'm cool with pulling out the 7-inch tablet because I'll sit there on the bus and I'll play Game Boy Advance emulators on there and spend my time on that. But with the 10-inch tablet, it's more like I want to wake up in the morning, I want to have my cup of coffee, I want to have that. So make sure when you're designing your graphics and your UIs, keep the 7-inch tablet in mind. Don't spend all your time on the 10-inch tablet. As I said, we started with the 7-inch and then went to the 10-inch.
Right.
So it doesn't matter which way you go as long as you're supporting both.
And this Galaxy Tab, this 10.1, is the first honeycomb device that we've played with. So you got to understand that when we designed and developed the 7-inch version, we're running on Froyo.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So not even gingerbread, Froyo. So how you design. Now I could go into, I can talk for hours on honeycomb, designing for tablets. I've mentioned before about fragments. Fragments are a large part of your design interface for honeycomb because you really want to enable the most real estate, and you want to use up your real estate the best you can. You want to maximize it. So when you're selecting certain elements on the left panel, you want to be able to dynamically change the areas of the app. For example, like your Gmail. So you select your message, and contextual icons will show up, whether you want to delete it or whether you want to favorite it. It'll be different. So when you're designing tablet apps like this, you want to take that into consideration.
But don't feel limited to these. No. Fragments of stuff. You'll
customize
notice that
things.
There's not really a whole lot of honeycomb stuff going on that we took advantage of in
right.
TwitHouse.
No.
Yet I would say it's still on par, and looks just as good, even probably I would say better than a lot of the apps, just because everything is custom. We used a lot of view flippers and stuff like that. View flipper is an awesome widget you can use to change layouts dynamically on the fly. So don't feel limited, like you have to use these fragments because it's a tablet app. Don't feel like you need to, action bars are cool. It doesn't suit every app though. I mean, TwitHouse, we didn't use an action bar. We created our own kind of custom bar that does what we want. We have the scrolling trends. You notice if you've played with TwitHouse, or you can see from the picture, the trends, the current Twitter trends, they actually scroll through. We have a lot of customization we've put in. Don't feel limited to what Google gives you.
No, and we're actually proud of the fact that, TwitHouse has all these custom overlays and everything, and not, we didn't want to do a list app. If we wanted to sit there and do a, fragments list app and have lists and lists, we could have did that in a weekend, in a week or so, just to get it out. We felt that we wanted to put a lot of work into, all the graphics, making sure everything fits, filling up. One of the things I want to talk about is having multiple in your res folders and all your assets. You have large, now you have extra large, and you're allowed to, develop and design, different layouts and different, design assets for each form factor. So if you have smaller ones, there's going to have an extreme, the XDPI will be the next version, which will be a higher res.
Google TV maybe?
Yeah, yeah. At I/O they had something with Google TV designing for Google TV and kind of your icons and your on-screen elements, but we'll stick with we're doing smartphones, we're doing tablets, and I think eventually we'll get there. But so I also want to talk quickly about preparing your work environment. You want to make sure that all your assets and all your templates in Photoshop are really well prepared. I would duplicate ones that I have for HDPI and NDPI so that I have two sets of templates.
So what do you mean by templates?
So if I have a background and I have elements like your spaceship and all that, I would create a Photoshop template, a PSD that has layers. I would create an HDPI one so that if I ever have to export to a PNG, the assets that we use, I'm exporting from a template that I've already designed. So that way I'm not, the worst thing you could do is export all these PNGs and then scale those assets higher. Okay, like you can never get more pixels. You only have as many pixels as you're using. So if you start with a higher density, like a 240, you can always export to a lower density, which is a 160 or stuff like that. But you can never go up. So you have to be careful that you create your templates, you create your high-res templates, your medium density templates, and you export from there. I'm just saying, get prepared. Have PSDs for everything. If you look through my folders, you'll see 20, 30 different PSDs. Everything's all separated. I do create mock-ups where I have a lot of elements on that I show Matt. I'll export the full screen and say this is what this screen looks like, just so that he'll have a frame of mind, a reference when he's creating the layouts. But the same design guidelines that you're applying for smartphones apply for tablets. You just have to understand that there's different sizings and different resolutions, and you have to make sure that you're fitting all your elements within. You can fit a lot more. These are tablets, and there's a lot of room. So we're excited to design for tablets and showing TwitHouse, and over the next couple of weeks when we release it, when eventually it gets out, then we'll accept your feedback, and you guys can tell us what you like, what you don't like, certain features. We've tried to pack in as much as we can. We worked really hard. Our feature list is real extensive. We've gone through what the app has, your normal Twitter stuff, but adding the widgets and adding the ranking system, and now adding the mini games. We feel that we've customized our app, experience, not limited to lists and lists of tweets and replies. So we've kind of changed it up, and that's pretty much where we're coming from a design perspective when we're looking at tablet apps. And I think we're going to be designing a few other more. We have other ones in the pipeline that we kind of looked at. So But TwitHouse is our first major tablet application, and we're real excited to kind of get it out there for you guys.
Yeah, cool. Right on. So, I think that's about it for today. Once again, you can download the source code to everything that I talked about in the code. You can download that from our download section on the website. Also, right now, for the next couple hours, it'll be posted right on the homepage. If you have any questions about it, you have anything, if you want other examples, just send us an email. If you have, programming questions, send it to Matt at mobycartel.com. You have design questions, send it to Greg at mobycartel.com. And we'd love to answer your questions. I mean, we don't get a ton of emails, so it's not like we're flooded with.
We're nice. We won't,
email.
well, if we can answer it, we will. If we can't, we'll pass it along. We have a lot of friends in the community, a lot of devs. If something is over Matt's head, which it would have to be really tall, over his head, you'd have to be. But if it's really advanced or something, we have friends that we can kind of hit up and definitely get an answer to you. But what else?
Lastly, just regarding the code, I mean, it's 2 hours, and it took me longer than 2 hours to build the game. So you can imagine that I left a lot of stuff out. I went through stuff fairly quick, and you may not come out of this watching this video knowing how to make a complete 2D game drawing on a canvas. But I mean, the code's there to help you, I hope that you at least take out some of the concepts like. As soon as you think about collision detection, I hope that you associate it with the rectangle class. And you're like, oh, well, it's got all the methods to help me take care of collision detection. That's where you're going to go. If you're thinking about, oh, how do I, do animation? Well, you got that background thread. You got that update physics method that's always running, updating things on the screen. And then, it's just, I hope you kind of take these small little concepts out of it and start, kind of exploring things for yourself and, mess around with my code, compile it with your, maybe you want to simplify my code, add in your own graphics and, mess around and see what you can do. So, yeah.
For sure. We have a lot of people we want to thank. This week's episode was great. The quality was unbelievable. We want to thank James Hughes, our production kind of main guy. Awesome. Really helped us out a lot. We're very impressed with the quality. I've been looking at it, as we've been streaming, so really good time. Hearth TV Studios, awesome guys.
We gotta get a shot of James though.
Yeah.
James never gets shown on the show. No?
I wasn't pointing to me.
No. Yeah, no, I know, but you deserve some respect. So there's James.
Behind the scenes. Yeah.
So yeah, he works so hard for us. He takes care of a lot of stuff. So, thank you very much.
There's a couple other shows that we promote here on Hearth TV. A lot of magic happens in this room. We have Sean Ward that does the Sean Ward Show, Sunday nights, 9 o'clock. Crazy, awesome, good guy. He called in Skype, got lots of contests. There's a musical act, a lot of crazy things going on. And the Nat and Marie Show, which is Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, I believe, as well. And that's just a bunch of, skits. They have, guests. Call-ins, just real good time, a lot of entertainment. There is going to be a website coming up. I believe that they're going to put a schedule and kind of give more details on a lot of these shows. We're excited to be here. We're here every other Tuesday from 7:30, so we really like you guys to come check out. Matt promoted the website. Get the app. Go and download the app from the Android market. It's called Coding Green Robots, or you can search Moby Cartel. It'll be in our list. But it's like we said, it's just a base app. A lot of the info you already know, but it has a feedback. It has a list of scheduled. All our episodes are on there. It'll link right to Ustream, so you can check that out. But it's a base app, and we'll be adding more functionality, more features. If we get our feedback, then we can add some stuff in and definitely make it grow.
And I'm sure we'll open source that as well. We'll pop that on the site.
Yeah, no reason.
I'll probably do that tomorrow. So it's got some. It has a lot of concepts we already talked about, like parsing XML files and stuff. So
the best way to learn is get into the code. Start compiling the code, change the code, play with it, and pretty soon if you want an app kind of like this for your blog or for your site. Matt, we already talked about RSS feeds. You know, we've talked about a lot of different types of